seems to always catch the attention of people who do this work, particularly those in office who are advocating for this. They always make the fiscal argument, right?
Yes.
And in many ways, people forget that when you lock up a young person, you're locking up someone for X amount of dollars, and when you really look at it, here in New York in particular, you can attribute around $400,000 per year per kid.
I want to stop you there because that's a staggering statistic, right? So, but contrast to how much do we actually pay for education of that same child, right? I think California, it's like $225,000 to lock up a kid in these juvenile detention centers or whatever camp, whatever you want to call it. But it's about $10K that they spend in educating the child. Yep. So again, education. And I'm sorry I interrupted you, but
no.
It's that statistic and those numbers. There's just such a discrepancy, and I don't understand how you can justify $400,000 to $10,000 or $20,000 educating a child.
Yeah. And that's one of the main reasons why in this work, I've learned that telling the story of young people and allowing them to express themselves, really adds value and context to these conversations, because our kids aren't dollar signs, right? Our kids aren't, a budget or a budget line in someone's, next year's budget, right? Our kids are our kids. They're part of our communities. They're part of our society. They're the people who are going to eventually replace us in the future. As the father of a 9-year-old.
I was gonna say, this is a dad. Yeah.
I can say that, on that front. I think about that oftentimes now, like, what future am I leaving for my daughter? And, I always think about what kind of a system or what kind of a support would I want from my daughter were she ever to, get caught up in something in the future. Because let's face it, that's the reality of her being Latina, minority, and in this country in all actuality.
Right.
And so I think for me, it's always a personal front.
Yeah.
But it's also because I have young men and women who I work with around the country who I have to face day to day and explain to them that this is our reality, right? And how do we come together to build power and momentum to really shift, agendas in the direction that benefits them and their communities.
And I think